Welcome back. In the previous session, we had discussed the nature of HRM along with its importance. Now, let us see the HRM and personnel management, the differences. So, earlier it was called in the name of personnel management, where the scope was less, the function done by the HR manager was less, and normally in the small organization one of the person was given as a designation as a HR manager, and he used to conduct whatever the operations that are the functions that has to be done, and he had not given additional salary or additional benefits. But nowadays every department, we know that every company has a HR department, and now let us see what was personnel management and what is human resource management is all about. And the basis for comparison is here. Let us see the meaning. Say personnel management, the aspect of management that is concerned with the workforce and the relationship with the entity. It is concerned only with the workforce and the relationship at the workplace, nothing else. Whereas in case of this HR management, say we could see it is the branch of management that focus on the effective use of manpower. Say when we have sufficient manpower, we need to know how to utilize this manpower and to achieve the organizational goals. Okay. So, we should know how to make use of the manpower efficiently and effectively, and we know manpower we cannot utilize the way we use this machines or the tools and equipments. Say if we ask the manpower, the employees to work beyond 8 hours, they just claim for overtime wages. So, double the salary has to be given if you want them to work with you beyond 8 hours. And it is not just the money, you need to take care of the employees. If you take care of the employees, certainly the productivity will be high, they will reap you with the good profits. Okay. And the approach in the personnel management was, the approach was traditional, whereas in HRM the approach is modern. And treatment of manpower. Say here in the personnel management, employees were treated like machines or tools. I mean to say, they used to have the hire and fire policy. They used to hire the employees, they used to give the salary or the wages, and irrespective of their health and safety, the employees has to complete their work. Okay. Whereas in the human resource management, it is a strategic function, all the things will be considered by the manager. And basis of pay is job evaluation. See, job evaluation is nothing but rating the relative worth of a job. So, based on that they used to fix the salary for a person. Okay. Whereas it is not so in case of HRM. In case of HRM, how much ever work you have done, based on your performance, they used to pay the employees. And the management role is transactional in personnel management and transformational, where both the it is a transformational where both the managers will consider the employees and they work together and they are ready to accept the changes, new changes, where here it is not so. Communication in personnel management was indirect, that is I mean to say the employees were not directly connected to the managers. Okay. Whereas here in this human resource management, sometimes we may use the open door policy. So, when we talk about the employee grievances and complaints, we could see the open door policy where the employees have all the rights to directly walk into the cabins of the manager to express their grievance or complaint. And labor management, when we compare the labor management, here it was only the collective bargaining contracts we had, whereas in HRM we have individual contracts also. Okay. And initiatives, say personnel management it is piecemeal system they used to have, and here now we have the integrated system. And decision making, say when it comes to decision making, personnel management decision making was very slow. Let that be related to the hike in the wages, let that be related to the bonus, or let that be related to the work process, anything. The decision making was very slow by the management, where in human resource management, after shifting from personnel management to human resource management, now the decision making has become very fast. So, these are the basic differences you need to know between the human resource management and the personnel management. Now, let us see some of the factors influencing human resource management. So, there are different factors: political and legal factors, technological factors, socio-cultural factors and economic factors. Let us see the political legal factors. So, political and legal factors is about, it includes the political system, role of government in business, various government policies related to business operations and laws formulated by the governments. And with related to the human resource management, in the previous sessions also we have discussed the labor laws, industrial and labor laws, that is related to the workplace. Say every factory has to follow the Factories Act 1948, okay, and many laws, okay, as we mentioned and discussed in the previous sessions, okay, Industrial Dispute Act, Maternity Benefit Act, Standing Orders Act, minimum wages, payment of wages and many more. So, all these factors influences HRM, because when we are in the society, we need to follow the legal factors given by any country, any society, okay, and also political system. Say trade union, every company will have trade union, so trade union leaders will be influenced by these political parties, okay. So, even they will be getting the support from the political parties, say in case of the strikes, during the strikes, okay. Technological factors. So, technological factors are also important, and they include inventions and techniques which affect the ways of doing things, that is, it could be the designing of a product, production of a product and distributing the product and services. All these things comes under these technological factors. Let us see some of the socio-cultural factors. Say what are the socio-cultural factors? Say as we are in the society, say we need to work according with the expectations of the society from the organization. Say we talk so much about the CSR, corporate social responsibility, okay, and views towards the status of jobs, views towards achievement of work and also towards authority structure, responsibility, organizational positions, workplace or workforce mobility and role of unions in managing human resources. Say these unions, say trade union is the association of the employees and it should be 7 in the number and it should get registered, elected by the employees itself, and it should be registered, recognized by the management and registered under Trade Union Act 1926. And these role of unions in managing human resources, it has a very wide role, I could say. Trade union members have the more power. As I said, they will be interacting with the political leaders also. They have more power and they will be acting as the representatives of the employees. And economic factors. Factors that influence human resource management practices are population and workforce, workforce market conditions, national income, inflationary pressures. All these things comes under economic factors. Say all together, these are the factors influencing the human resource management. Now let us see the evolution of human resource management. That means to say how this human resource management came into existence, what are the stages that it came across. Okay. So, what is the evolution of human resource management is all about, say earlier it was just a commodity concept. See here labor was regarded as a commodity, just like a commodity, just like a product I could say, to be brought and sold. Wages were based on demand and supply. Okay. So, whenever there was a demand, it could be seasonal, seasonal, I mean to say, if it is an umbrella manufacturing company, they do not work throughout the year. Okay. Whenever there is more demand, they may work, and when there is no demand, they may close down the factory, they may send retrench the workers, or they may close down, or say seasonal, say yearly, they may work for 3 to 4 months, they may engage themselves into other business, and employees may be sent to the houses. So, according to the demand and supply, they used to hire the employees, and here government did very little to protect the workers. Government did not support the employees, and there were no labor laws at all. There was only the hire and fire policy that is followed here in the commodity concept. As I said, commodity just like brought and sold. So, this is a commodity brought. Okay. So, how much ever I want to sell, I will sell at that particular price. So, even the employees were considered as a commodity, and whatever the salary that was fixed by the company, the manager, only the salary was given, very less salary was given to the employees. They never considered either the health or safety or welfare of the employees here in this commodity concept stage. Next is factor of production. So, labor here is like any other factor of production like money, materials, land, etc. Workers are like tools, machine tools. Okay. Here also it only the importance was given like they were considered only like factor of production. We have hired them, let them come and work for us. This was the concept like. Okay. They used to work, they were treated like machines and tools, and no medical facilities was given to them, and no like basic facility like drinking water facility or the toilet facilities and restrooms, creches, whatever we talk today in the Factories Act, nothing was provided. Okay. And there was no compulsion for them to give the canteen facilities also. Okay. Next one is goodwill concept. So, here goodwill concept, there existed the welfare measures like safety, first aid, lunchroom, restroom, which had an impact, positive impact on workers' productivity. Here in the goodwill concept, they started very little with the welfare measures, that is they provided safety. Say section 21 to 40 in 41, okay. So, of Factories Act, it talks about safety. So, safety measures were considered, and also like first aid facilities was provided to the employees, and lunchroom, restroom for especially the female employees, restrooms were provided, and it had a positive impact, and employees felt that they also have some value in the company. And next is paternalistic or paternalism concept. That means to say manager must assume a fatherly and protective attitude towards employees. Here also like some little freedom was given to the employees, and there was less interference of the employer. Okay. And so, it is not just merely providing benefits, but also for satisfying various needs of the employee. That means to say he like here the manager, he was like acting like a father. He was treating all the employees like his children. Whenever there is a need, he used to enter to solve the problem, and little freedom was given to the employees to decide and work. Next came into existence the humanitarian concept. So, this is to improve productivity, physical, social and psychological needs of the workers will be met. Okay. So, here much importance was given to the physical, social and psychological needs of the workers. As Elton Moyo and others stated, money is less a factor in determining the output than the group standards, group incentives and security. And the importance of money was less, and group standards, group security was given more importance here in this humanitarian concept. Okay. And the employees were given very little respect also, where the other three, they did not get any kind of respect, they did not value employees, they just considered as commodity, factor of production, and in the goodwill concept they started giving freedom. Here they also started giving little respect to the employees, whereas in the human resource concept, employees are the employees were treated as the most valuable asset of the organization. There should be a conscious effort to realize organization goals by satisfying needs and aspirations of employees, because say hiring a talented employee is a big task. At the same time, not just hiring, the employees have to be retained, because we will be giving them the training, we will be developing a particular potential employee in many aspects. We prepare them to for the future challenges. When we do so much, what if they quit the company? That will be a loss again for the company. Again the company has to spend so much on the recruitment and selection process. Therefore, here they understood the need of the employees, and employees are considered as valuable asset to the organization. In a first session, I have also told that founder of this Infosys, Narayan Murthy sir, he stressed on the concept of employees, and he says our asset walk out of the organization every day, and we see that it come back to us tomorrow morning. That means to say, without them we are nothing. And when do the employees come back to you? When you treat them, okay, with respect, with a dignity of labor is expected. So, when you treat them, when you give them more and more welfare facilities and a handful of salary, obviously they will be with you. Okay. So, and the last one is the emerging concept. Here employees were not just treated as the valuable asset of the company, a step ahead, they have employees should be accepted as partners in the progress of the company. Employees today are treated as partners in the progress of the company, and we talk so much about workers' participation in management or decision making. So, they should have a feeling that the organization is their own. So, when they feel that this organization is my own, they work beyond the hours, working hours, or they take the initiative to work in the company. To this end, managers must offer better quality of working life and offer opportunities to people to exploit their potential fully. Okay. So, here what happens is, the employees when they consider, say especially the trade union leaders, when they considered as a part of the employers or a part of a decision making process, when they sit with the management for collective bargaining and negotiation process, they feel proud, okay, and they will also be considered whatever the decisions, whatever the major changes that has been made by the management, that will be intimated to the employees nowadays, and they have to do this. Okay. When you involve, when you consider the employees as the partners, obviously they would like to stay for a longer period in the company. Now, let us see some of the principles of human resource management. Okay, what are the principles? Say principles are the fundamental truth established by research, investigation and analysis, and these are the universal truth generally acceptable and applicable to all the organizations, and principles guide managers in formulating policies, programs, procedures and practices, I could say, and many personal principles have been established through practice, experience and also through observations. Let us see some of the principles of human resource management. Say first principle is principle of individual development. What is this individual development is all about? It is to offer full and equal opportunities to every employee to realize his potential. Say for this we have performance appraisal. Every normally annually we do this, and some of the company like Infosys, they do biannually. It depends on the nature of the nature and size of the company, it is up to the company. So we do this performance appraisal, and based on this individual attention, individual focus is given in the companies, and they offer full and equal opportunities to every employee. Say in case of promotions, say equal opportunities has to be given and it should be impartial. Okay. So every employee will have their own potential. So it has to be taken out. It is an art for the manager to take out the potential, to realize the potential of every individual. Next is principle of scientific selection. Say principle of scientific selection. If I want to hire, say for example, if I want to hire a secretary, personal secretary, say I just can't select her based on the calligraphy, that is based on the handwriting. Say sometimes he or she may have to take the dictations, but still that is not the only method that we need to have. Okay. So principle of scientific selection is nothing but to select a right person to the right job at the right place in the right time. Okay. So all these things have to be considered. This is the principle of scientific selection. Next is principle of free flow of communication. So to keep all channels of communication open and encourage upward we have to encourage. There are different types of communication which you have read in your first semester, that is with communication. Okay. So in communication I had taught these types of communication. So here you need to encourage upward communication, downward communication, horizontal communication, formal and informal communication. All types of communication is required in the organization. Depending upon the situation we make use of that, but there should be free flow of communication. In the organization chart, if you remember, in management and organizational behavior. So organization, line and staff organization. Say if you have organization, very big organization chart, who is responsible to whom, very difficult to identify. So what happens is, so you should know the chart should be very clear, and you need to encourage all type of communication. This is also one of the important principle. And next is principle of participation. So this is to associate employee representatives at every level of decision making. That is what we discussed few minutes back. So employees have to be considered as the asset, and employees have given more power, and nowadays we talk so much about empowerment of employees, and employee representatives will be joined at every level of decision making. Whatever the changes they make in the organization, that has to be intimated to the at least to the representatives, that means to say the trade union leaders. It has to be conveyed to the leaders or the representatives of the company, and informed about the changes or the newly introduced methods of working. Next is principle of fair remuneration. Okay. So principle of fair remuneration. So pay fair and equitable salary for that is matching with the jobs. Okay. If a job is very difficult, very tough in nature, or where it has to be performed by the expert, he has to be given more salary. That is this all depends upon the job analysis, that is it is with related to the job description and job specification. There we get to know what type of job it is, what kind of materials will be used, which type of a person is required to do this job. So, fair remuneration. Okay. So, and the pay should be equal to the employees whoever is doing the same job. Okay. Next is principle of incentive. So, incentive is not given to anyone. So, incentive is given to recognize and reward only the good performance. If you reach your target, okay, then you will be given with the incentives, otherwise no incentive will be provided. If you reach your target, then the incentive will be provided to a particular employee. Next is principle of dignity of labor. Say, to treat every job holder with dignity and respect, irrespective of the cadre and resignation. This is the mutual respect, give and take respect. Okay. If you treat them with the dignity and respect, in fact, they will work for you. Otherwise, if today the employees are aware of their rights, duties, responsibilities, if you do not treat them with the dignity and respect, they may go to the court again. The next one is principle of labor management cooperation. So, this principle is used to promote the cordial industrial relation. We know industrial relation, the relationship, the good relationship between the employee and employee, between employee and employer, or between employer and employer. So, in order to promote the cordial industrial relation at the workplace, we make use of this principle of labor management cooperation. And next one is principle of team spirit. So, normally at the workplace, these employees have to work with the teams, okay, especially with regard to the IT sector. All the employees will be working with the team leaders, and the management or the manager will not interfere with any particular team. So, it is in order to promote the team spirit and coordination among the employees, we make use of this team spirit, principle of team spirit. Okay. And say there, and also there could be few employees of shy natured, few employees who may not be very bold enough, few employees who may not be knowing the rules and regulations of the workplace. So, if they work in the team, so that the team spirit could be highlighted. And the last principle is the principle of contribution to the national prosperity. Here, to provide higher purpose of work to all employees and to contribute to the national prosperity, because we are living in the society and we talk about corporate social responsibility, we have to give something return to the society and we are not supposed to harm the society. So, we have the principle of contribution to the national prosperity. So, these are all the important principles of human resource management. So, I will be ending this session here. So, let us move on to the functions of human resource management in the upcoming session. Thank you all.